Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Vallen, and this is Tinker's Construct for 1.8.9 Tinker's Combos. Today we're covering hammers. So early game, often you'll end up fighting a lot of mobs because you're trying to build yourself some kind of base, and you end up hunting around the map trying to find wool so that you can end up creating a bed and therefore cycle the night. Until then, you end up often killing skeletons. Your early game stuff is probably going to consist of not having a smeltery. So therefore, I am saying that the early game stuff is going to be pre-smeltery, and the later game stuff is going to be post-smeltery. Now, to start off with, you often will end up getting bones from skeletons, and there's a couple different variations depending upon what you may end up finding or doing. So, I have a couple of different hammer variations here to start off with. Let's throw this in here, and this one is essentially all bone with one stone plate on there. Allow me to demonstrate. This bone stone hammer I have is made up simply with a bone tough tool rod, a single bone large plate, even though I just placed two in there, and a single bone hammerhead. Now, the reason I put the stone plate in there is because just getting the number of bones you need for this is going to be difficult enough as it is. So therefore, you're going to want it to be cheap to repair. And that's why I put the stone plate on there. It has the least amount of change to it. You'll be able to mine iron with a mining speed of 1.93, and the rest of the stats just end up adding in a bit better. The handle modifier on this and the fact that its durability is a positive instead of a negative is really where this ends up helping out quite a bit. I do not recommend going for the cheaper materials in most situations for a hammer early on, because you'll probably end up like mining like 50 blocks and then you're done, and you'll have to repair it again. And you can't exactly just put these into your own crafting grid and just repair it as you have in the past. So with that in mind, though, you can make that, you can upgrade it as you need, but if you end up finding yourself one of these, a slime island, you should be able to harvest a bunch of the goods on here and get yourself an even better version. I recommend taking as much of this congealed green slime and blue slime as you possibly can. Also ending up destroying one of the trees just so you can get the saplings to drop out of them. And take a few pieces of the slimy dirt and slimy grass at least. I recommend taking maybe like a half dozen or more if you can. The island's going to look pretty demolished by the time you're done with it, but there's good reason for this, and I'll explain why. To start off with, saplings, namely the slimy saplings, will not grow on any kind of standard dirt. I am right-clicking now, and nothing is happening, or grass. It actually has to be on the slimy sort, and therefore either slimy grass, or in this case, slimy dirt, is fine for you to actually plant one of these saplings. Then, as you destroy them, you can then harvest the green slime blocks and the slime balls that end up coming from the off chance of them coming from the leaves as well, thus giving you an infinite source of slime balls for your slime hammer. Now, allow me to demonstrate how good this one is. This is actually my preferred early start if you have the possibility of getting it. And that is, well, let me get the pieces together and show you. By making yourself a slime hammer with a green slime hammerhead, two green slime large plates, and a slime tough tool rod of the blue category, you'll get yourself one of these. And you'll notice, once I end up setting that back there, that it's got a huge durability. Let me compare the difference here, 496 to 3000. And if you're using your hammer, you're using it to make some big tunnels and get a lot of stuff taken care of. So you want to do some work. You don't want to have to run back and constantly keep repairing something. The bone item is if you are having difficulty in finding slime islands. I do recommend that you go for this one. Now, the mining speed isn't very good. And the mining level isn't that good either. This is the equivalent of mining with something that's wooden, but there's a very easy way of resolving that. So if you end up making yourself your tool pieces, you can end up making your green slime crystal, blue slime crystal. They're made with slimy mud, which is of course made with slime balls, dirt, and sand of varying types. With that, you can end up making yourself these slimy muds that you smelt to make your crystals that you use to make your hammers. It's a little bit more intense, but much more renewable in the end, and much better in my opinion. But with that aside, if you end up taking yourself these items here, let's get these out of here, and putting in cobblestone into your part builder, make yourself a sharpening kit pattern, and you'll get yourself a stone sharpening kit. One of the cheapest sharpening kits you can get. Take one of those and a single piece of flint. Go back to your tool forge, add that, your stone sharpening kit and your flint, and you've now upped the mining level to iron. It's that simple. Very, very easy. So with one piece of flint, one piece of stone, you've made yourself a slime hammer that can then mine stone. And as far as upgrades go, it wouldn't hurt for your first upgrade to actually be with redstone, but allow me to demonstrate how good this one works first. Alright, here we go. We're going to give this a try. And you can see it's a little bit slow, but it's much more effective than using a pick. Well, I recommend that your first upgrade be redstone with your hammer. So you end up putting that on there, and it will effectively double the mining speed, more or less. So that when I go down here, of course, don't forget, right click with torches next to it, and you can place them, or if that's stone or something to that nature. But if I use it now, it's much, much faster, much more effective as well. Now you can, it's entirely up to you to continue upgrading it, add more redstone. Not to say that it actually used up that much. It used up 50 total redstone, and that's it, for one complete haste level. But I do recommend that for the next one, you end up trying to save up for an expander. Now these are made with a purple slime ball, which is why you want to try and find a tree with purple leaves if possible, because they will over time drop a purple slime. And with that, where'd it go? There it is. You can end up with a couple pistons, some lapis, and that make yourself an expander. And I personally prefer the horizontal. There is also a vertical, but this one here is more to my liking for wider hallways. So you put that on there, it uses up another modifier. And it still has one modifier left on there. If I put it back in, you can see it still has one. Which, of course, the last one I'm going to say entirely your preference. I personally would put an emerald on there. The reason being, you put one on there, it automatically upgrades the mining level to the next level. And it increases the durability ridiculously to 4,500. Now, if you put a diamond on there, that's still not bad either, actually. It's only going to give you 500 more durability, which is nothing to laugh at. Increase the mining level to diamond, but it also increases the speed just a little bit. And, of course, your attack damage, but we're not really using the hammer for attack damage here. Now, I am actually going to put the emerald on here just so that you can see it does not increase the mining speed, but it will end up increasing that durability so much. I put that on there, and actually I forgot to put the emerald on. There we go. And we have ourselves a really fancy slime hammer that has the expansion on the side here. So you can see that it can actually end up mining quite a bit more. Let me end up getting back out into survival mode here. And you can see it just demolishes very large sections of wall with little effort. And it does it fast enough in my mind that I don't really need to go too much faster. Now, there are those that must have, I must go fast. They've got the Sonic the Hedgehog going through their head, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's where more the endgame stuff comes in mind. But this slime hammer here, actually, I tend to like using it in the endgame as well. But that's entirely up to you. So, let's get on to the next part, shall we? Alright, so once you've got yourself a smeltery going up and running, there is of course a couple different versions that you can go for. And this one here is more along the lines of after any kind of water temple visiting, if you have such a desire, and before or after. You just don't have to use the items from it. And the reason for that is because of the Squeaky Handle, which I will show you here. So this one here is made with, of course, a lot of parts. It's very difficult to see all of them on there. But the Squeaky is because it has a sponge handle on there with a really good modifier. Let me get one of those. So you can see here, it's got a modifier of 1.2 and a durability bonus on top of that of 250. So it's really, really handy for that. It's going to add quite a bit of durability. And you notice that this isn't quite as durable as the slime hammers. Well, that's because there is no slime involved in these. And the durability is from the materials used, which can be actually quite expensive for these ones. So if you go mining in the nether quite a bit, you'll find that these tools are going to be for you. Now this one here, it currently has momentum, which is because it's got cobalt hammerhead, cobalt large plate ×2, and the squeaky handle there. It also has two levels of hasting, and one of those width modifiers on there for it. So let's go try this one out and you can see it in action. Alright. Let's go over here and you can see this just kind of rips through stuff really quick. The more you mine, the faster it actually goes because of that whole momentum thing. And this is why I end up not wanting them to go too quick, because I don't want to be caught out by lava. Let's just kind of seal that up there so it doesn't get too far. Now the other style that I had is actually one that I tend to prefer. Now of course this one, it being squeaky, it also has silk touch built into it, which is great. You're definitely going to want that so that you can refine the ores and items as you need to double them if at all possible. But this other one I have actually has an ardite handle. Let me get one of those. Now the ardite handle actually has an even better handle modifier than most of the other stuff, and that's 1.4, but it does have a durability minus of 200. So that's actually going to bring it down before it increases the overall modification on it. So you can add things on there to offset that if you really desire, but I find that it's got another ability on there, that Petramore, where it, while mining in stone, it ends up not using the durability quite as often. And actually, it's a really good percentage. It's like around, I was running around with this and I was finding that about 40% I was not using on this. So it effectively almost doubles the durability while mining through stone, which is what the majority of people end up mining. Now, with this, it also has momentum because it has, once again, all cobalt pieces on there. And I will show you a little bit of customization that you guys can have on this if you so desire. You can switch it around. Of course, it's going to have the highest cobalt mining level available. And that is going to... it also has 2 levels of haste and 1 level of width again. So this one, let me try this one out for you. Here we go. You notice it goes quite fast and works quite well. And the first one that we had works just about as good. But with this second one, you'll notice that the durability, if you zoom in on here, is actually much higher. Let's see, there we go. 2090, 2230, 2506, 2965. So in effect, you don't have to repair this one as much. It uses up less, a considerable amount while mining through stone, and is much better for that in my mind. The mining speed is about the same on there because they basically have the same parts. And you do lose the silk touch ability, so I don't know if that is something that you have a preference for. If you don't care about the silk touch, I do recommend that you go for the ardite handle. Now that's not all though. There are some other options that you can customize this tool with that you may want to go for. You could put on there a singular magnetic plate. Now that's going to reduce the durability considerably. Watch this. It goes from 2230 to 1725. So you've lost, nearly 500 durability there. But you gain the magnetic 2 ability and you no longer have to use cobalt to repair your tool. You can use iron, which is fantastic. That is a lot easier to come by than cobalt. So I do recommend that you think about putting something on there besides the cobalt on all three parts of the head for the tool. But that is also going to slow it down. You notice the speed on there drops down a little bit, but it is cobalt and it's got momentum, so it's going to end up increasing in speed anyway. Now, another option is if you don't really care about ore doubling and so on, you can do your auto smelt, which is going to bring the mining speed down a bit and your durability down not as much as the iron. So you therefore can do that, and then you can use wood and lava to repair your tool with. Or you could even go absolutely crazy and replace both, severely hitting your durability, but you still have your momentum on there and your petrum ore, which will end up effectively almost doubling your durability while going through stone. Now, on top of that, I'm going to say that this is a great endgame tool, but personally, I think that I could always go with this, a slime hammer. Now, how could I end up making this mine some more significant tools? Well, with with a obsidian sharpening kit. By taking one of those and a flint, you can upgrading that stone sharpening kit to obsidian. Therefore, it can now mine cobalt, and I am very happy with this. I can then, if I really want to, I can put one of these other modifiers on there. Now, it's going to drop the durability a bit there, but I mean, it's not really going to modify it that much. Actually, putting on the iron increase the mining speed a little bit. So you do have that option available to you as well. And if you want to see all the options, you can scroll on here. Now remember, the slimy means that it will on occasion spawn little tiny slimes of the appropriate color, and therefore you can kill those and possibly get more slime back to repair your tool with. So you can always make this magnetic, you can make this auto smelt, you can make this auto smelt with magnetic. So you have a lot of options with that to go with. And personally, I'm very happy with my slime hammer. So that about does it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, please give a like, share to others, and let them know. And until next time, see ya.